daar jongens. Ook as jy het en van is daar jongens wat gaan nie eers ene weer. Ja, dis reg. Hy is jou eerste keer en hy is ja. Ja, maar ek wil ook net dan maaks wat ons gebruik het, allemaal nou al als 3 spelen en spelen. Maar even met deze gebruik doen. Was dit die een wat op die stoel ligt? Ja, hij is een op die stoel valt. Ja. En hy is aan en aangemeet. Sy tel op in sy kraag. Hy is nou live, soos hy daar is. So het is nie dat ek al sal ons het sien. As jy op hom tik op die stoel, sê jy hoor, hy maak 'n geraas. Kan ek net op hom tik met die vingers? En hy is aan en aangemeet. Sy tel op in sy kraag. Hy is nou live, soos hy daar is. Al wat daar kan verkeerd gaan is die nuwe batterye kan doodgaan vanaf. But it should last 8 hours. It should. Nog steeds baie distansie. Dat is dan, als je nou op een naald kan krijgen, je strijkt er even naar op mij, dan aan de hand. En als de wij dan rijden, als je zegt, dan ga je dan daar vlees zoeken, dan bij het eten van die aantrekken. Als hij mij kan hij dan achter. Maar hij blijft opgebleven. Ja, als hij nou dit doet, dan gaat hij bij boer. Dan kan je boer. En dan loopt hij zo uit. En als hij nou die kijkt niet goed te maken. Hij ja, jy vir die radio so. Jy kan opsleep en jongens en hy kan ook gaan, ek sal afbreek hier en af in die kombi sit. Dan kom ek op na julle toe. Okay. But I'm surprised. I don't see it. Yeah, I can't wait. But I mean, why you don't go to the additional it's a good yeah, I suppose there is the doesn't take Oh, you want you won't hear much because there's nothing
They win. Happy? Nog een bikkie? Wow, okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Elsenburg. I will be your program director for the day. A few household rules before we start. I kindly request you to all switch off your cell phones. We also would like to ask the parents not to stand up to take any photographs during the proceedings, as there are professional photographers available that will take photographs of all the students as they pass us. Students, you are requested to hand in your academic year directly after the ceremony. And we also like you to please adhere to all safety protocols. And those protocols at this stage in time is to wear your mask all the time, making use of the sanitation stations that's provided in the foyer, and then also to keep your social distance. Students, you're allowed to take off your mask the moment you're capped and not during the time that you're sitting in the audience. In case of an emergency, can you please evacuate fast through both the sides and the front entrances and gather at the tennis courts at our back? There will be medical personnel available for in case there's any kind of medical emergency and you need some assistance. Then lastly, we would like to invite you for a drink with us after the ceremony. Please rise for the entrance of the academic procession. we will begin the proceedings by listening to the national anthem. You may please sit down. Please welcome the head of the college, Mrs. Hayley Roderick. I hereby ask Ms. Roderick to constitute the event.
Good morning, goeiemorgen, Mulvaney. It is my honor to welcome you to Elsenburg Agricultural Training Institute. Dit is my plesier om u te verwelkom. Goeiemorgen, Ukamankela. Before I declare the proceedings, I want to ask our most important guests here today, the graduates, to stand up. This will probably be the last time I can say to all of you, you've outstripped yourselves, you've run the race of your life. Cherish the proceedings going forward today, and let this forever remain in your hearts and your memories. For those of you who will continue to study with us, we will proceed as we've done through hard work, commitment, diligence and discipline, and through teamwork. So just one last time, let me be the principal and say, are we all here? Everybody who's supposed to be next to you is next to you. So on that note, you may sit. I hereby declare this congregation duly constituted.
Please welcome Mr. Darrell Jacobs, Deputy Director General Agricultural Development and Support Services, who will do the official welcoming.
Good afternoon, everybody. I think before I do the official welcome, we certainly gather at a time when we all have experienced loss. We have noted that one of our own students who would have graduated here today passed away tragically last year. And so we are obviously mindful of Sifundo and Zeleni's family, who instead of celebrating with all of us here today, are instead mourning. Secunda's loss. We are also gathering at a time when we are sadly in a time of war. A war that very few of us probably understand, a war that actually makes very little sense. And so even as we gather to celebrate the remarkable achievements of these young persons, we remember women, children, families who have been torn apart, whose lives have been lost out in Ukraine and in Russia. So we remain mindful of that, and with all of that loss in mind, I ask you just for a brief moment to be silent where you are, and let us observe a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Dr. Ivan Meyer, Provincial Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Mkhali Sebapetsa, the Head of the Department of Agriculture, Western Cape, Professor Bayat, Adjunct Professor of the University of Fort Hare, Dr. Ari Malila, the DG of the Western Cape, Mr. Moketsi Ramasodi, the DG of the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, Ms. Stan Freeling, one of our partners at the Casting Group, members of the College Council that are here today, senior management members and staff of the Department of Agriculture, representatives of our other partners, Stellenbosch University, and all other partners and stakeholders, staff of the Elsenburg Agricultural Training Institute, parents and guardians of our successful graduates, and our very, very special guests, our successful graduates. Good afternoon, welcome. It is so good to be here this afternoon and to celebrate with you in a physical space. You know, physical gatherings have become very rare, unfortunately, these days in a time of COVID, when we are in the midst of a pandemic. But it is therefore a great honor for me and a moment of great joy to welcome you all and to address you briefly at this graduation ceremony of this esteemed institution. Your graduation today is affirmation excellence within agriculture. Therefore, let me say, as graduates, you represent a tiny percentage of students that now occupy a special place as part of the Elsenburg alumni, and in the sector that feeds the growing population in South Africa and employs more than 400,000 people through the value chain in this province. Elsenburg is proud to award you with your well-deserved qualification, and especially congratulates the Diploma Group as the first graduates of the new 3-year diploma. Your presence here today is confirmation of the blood, sweat, and tears that you went through in order to taste the sweet fruit of success. You may recall that when you started your learning journey, I encouraged you to see your time at Elsenburg as the opportunity to have new experiences, meet new friends, learn a new language, and embrace a new culture. I trust that you have accepted this challenge and that you leave here refreshed, renewed. And my wish for all of you is that you go from strength to strength. May you never forget the way you have been resilient, especially over this last 2 years. Indeed, the future lies before you. Grasp each opportunity with passion, energy, and a sense of renewal. And may God bless you within your life's journey. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the two Director Generals gracing us with their presence here this afternoon. We first want to call on the Director General of Ballard, Mr. Moketsi Ramasodi, man who essentially boasts 2 master's degrees, a master's in agriculture and a master's in business leadership. I want to call on you, Mr. Ramasodi, to please come to the front to share a brief message of commendation to our students. Thereafter, we will welcome Dr. Harry Malila, the DG of the provincial government, who himself boasts undergraduate, a master's in business administration, and a PhD from the University of Stellenbosch. Mr. Ramasodi, please come to the podium.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me take this time to honor and greet the Honorable MEC, greet the DG of the province, greet the HOD, greet the DDG and the principal of the school, and all of you who are in here today. I feel very honored to stand in front of you, and more honored to see the new faces that will take this sector forward. A sector that is contributing towards the GDP of this country, a sector that is contributing to the jobs in our country, a sector that is providing food security to a lot of people in our country. I stand in awe for all of you who took a chance with this sector, and I would like to reassure you that you will never regret the choice that you have made. In this sector, there is a lot of toil, there is a lot of hard work, but there is a lot of reward, because each and every one of us gets to see a doctor maybe once a year, but we get to meet with our food at breakfast, at lunch, and in the evening. And in that way, people come and meet with you, the people who will be doing different sorts of work in the agricultural sector. Let me just thank you very much for the time that I was allocated to be here, and say from a national level, we would like to commend the Elsenburg Training Institute for producing the best in the country, and also laud the province of the Western Cape for producing the highest quality of people who are involved in the sector. I would like to say to all of you, from the national government, as led by Minister Toko Didiza, we are here to laud you and say, well done, the first group to do it in under COVID-19 conditions, the most difficult conditions, and you have done it. Thank you very much.
Program Director, Mr. Daryl Jacobs, Minister Dr. Ivan Meyer, Minister for Agriculture in the Western Cape, and then my colleague at the National Department, the DG Ramasodi, thank you for gracing us with your presence. I mean, on behalf of the provincial government, we really appreciate that. And then my own colleague, Dr. Sebo Petsa, also thank you for the invite. And more importantly, to the graduates today, and not just you, also your family, mothers, fathers, uncles, brothers, sisters, those that have supported you during this difficult time, and particularly during COVID. I mean, the DG of the National Department of Agriculture have said that you are the first group to have made it onto the new diploma program. And I think as a government, as a Department of Agriculture, and as the broader family of agriculture, we are extremely proud of your achievement. I mean, this is the start of a great journey. And I mean, outside I was speaking to the HOD of the Department of Agriculture, Dr. Sebo Petsa, and indicated that each of us always remember that first degree diploma that we received, and never forget this precious moment. But also, don't forget to honor those that's been part of this, of your journey, and particularly the difficult time that you've gone through as a student. I think the last 2 years, and I mean, I clearly remember the first time that we met around COVID was the 14th of March, 2020, and life has not been the same since then. And I'm sure for you as students, for you as family members, mothers, fathers, it's been a very difficult time. From having face-to-face lessons, moving onto a hybrid space. Some of you may not even have had computers at home. Some of you may not even have had data at certain times to log on. But today, you can be proud of yourself. But what has happened in that space is that someone sacrificed. Someone made it possible. And those are the people that you need to honor. So as a Western Cape government, we are really, really proud of the effort and what you've demonstrated, exceptional resilience in overcoming many of the obstacles. So you can be proud of yourself today. I mean, this is not an easy life. I mean, being a student is definitely not easy, but it's about what you do with that qualification after you walk out of that door today. It's about the example that you will become in your own communities. For many of you today, you may even be the first person in your family to attain a diploma. You may be the first one to attain a degree, but I can guarantee you that there will be many coming or following you. So today you even set an example to some of the family members that must probably still go through matric, some of the family members that must still go through university. And some of you today are heroes, maybe within a small rural community where you come from, maybe in a small little town. So don't take it for granted what you've achieved. Go out there and speak to fellow South Africans and indicate to them that it is actually possible. Minister Meyer, and I mean, I worked with Minister Meyer for years, you know, as part of this administration, but also as my own minister within the finance environment. And when he, you know, was deployed to the agriculture portfolio, it wasn't long, and then he said to me, Harry, I've got a slogan, and I mean, I want to cite it today. I'm sure you'll also talk about it, for the love of agriculture. And I see, and I'm sure many of you, when you received your invite, it's even on there, but there's an absolute passion for this agriculture space. And I mean, when you walk into this door, when you visit this place, you can actually understand why it is like that. And DJ, I mean, for us, you know, as a Western Cape, we are very proud of this institution. I mean, Daryl spoke about, you know, being the oldest institution in South Africa. We are very proud of the quality that we deliver here. And what we want to do is we want to take this quality forward into the broader South Africa. I always believe, you know, it doesn't help you to create excellence in one space in a country. But what we need to do is we need to create excellence everywhere in the country. So when we do that, it means that we grow South Africa. And I think as an agriculture department, we are proud of what we've achieved here at this college, and we want to build this out into the broader South Africa. So we want to also assure you, DG, that you've got our support. I mean, our minister says it always. We want to make South Africa the best place. Daryl also spoke about COVID-19, and I mean, we all know that COVID-19 has imposed a significant cost on all of us that are graduating today. I would like you, and I mean, I'm not going to go through a long speech, but I would like you to read up, you know, and it reminds me of the 1970 marshmallow test. And there are many of you here that were probably not even born in 1970. But the whole example of the marshmallow test was really around your ability to wait finally on being able to eat the marshmallow. And many of the students in that marshmallow test were not able to wait. But you were resilient enough. You decided that you're going to wait, notwithstanding COVID, and work through your work diligently to complete your qualification in the 3 or 4 years. So I really encourage you, go out there, just Google. I mean, in today's times it's quite easy, and you can gladly watch the video around the marshmallow test. I think the learnings from COVID, for me also, on a personal level as a DJ in the province, it's been amazing. And I always say that, you know, in a way we are normalizing things again, but we can never go back to how things have been before COVID. There are some learnings, and I mean, I'm sure those of you that are graduates today, when you enter the workspace and when you can, you know, find a job, and then you will be able to actually learn from all these, I think, the key things that you've gone through, particularly during COVID-19. For those of you, as I've said, that have really maybe struggled, to make it. For those of you that's going to be a beacon, just remember that education is critical for you as individuals. Education is key to take South Africa forward, and education is key particularly to take the economy forward. In the Western Cape, I think we are very proud of all our departments. The Premier delivered the State of the Province address some 2 weeks ago out in Veldrif, and the Premier outlined the major thing that we're going to drive this year is addressing the issue of unemployment. And one thing that takes any individual out of poverty is a decent education system. And we will be working very, very hard to make sure that we deliver on that mandate. In fact, I think we've done a lot of good during COVID-19, but the Premier has indicated that's not enough. The second pandemic being jobs, that is what we now need to work on. We're going to continue our effort to work on keeping you in the province safe. We're going to continue our effort in well-being. We're going to continue to deliver a world-class education system, students that are ready to go into the tertiary sector, and also a world-class health system. What we want you as parents, family and friends to do, and also our graduates, is to take our hand in tackling all these things that we need to tackle as a government. You've built up some skills, you've built up some competencies, so use that to actually take South Africa and Western Cape forward. In closing, I want to remind you also about what Nelson Mandela spoke about 25 years ago when he received his honorary degree at one of our universities in the country. And it was about values. And I mean, there's no community that can go forward without values. You've got your individual values, you also have family values, but at the end of the day, we've got a common set of values that's enshrined in our Constitution. So when you go out there as professionals, having your first degree, maybe having your second degree, always remember those values. And in closing, I want to again say, well done. And Minister Meyer, when he was my minister, he always spoke about this concept, and I will never forget it, the concept of being, of the trampoline. Now, for those of you that are young enough to jump on trampolines, I think I've passed my time. When you jump on a trampoline, you never land on the same place again. You either trampoline higher, or even when you jump out of that trampoline, you will jump further. So this qualification today allows you to jump further. It is your trampoline into the future, and use it to reach whatever goals you have reached. But never forgive, or never forget, those that have made it possible for you. So in celebrating, also celebrate those that have made it possible, particularly during difficult times. I mean, we have had to deal with loss. Many of us have even lost our jobs. But the parents made it able for you to achieve what you want to achieve. So in your celebration, remember those. Also remember those that are no longer with us. And go out there and use your qualification to change the Western Cape, to change your town where you come from, importantly, to change South Africa, and more importantly, be a mentor for those that will come after you. So once again, well done. We're very proud of you, and go out there and make everyone proud of your achievement. Thank you.
Please welcome Dr. Mogale Sebupetsa, Head of Department Agriculture, Western Cape, who will now introduce Dr. Ivan Meyer, the Minister of Agriculture, Western Cape.
I want to start by saying namaste to everybody here. A few years ago, I had an opportunity to visit the country of India. And when I was there, I was extremely intrigued by how the Indians greeted each other. I heard everybody saying namaste, they bow namaste. And I cared to ask my host what that meant. And my host said to me, it meant that I see you. It also means I recognize you. It means I acknowledge you. It also means I see the uniqueness in you. And I want to greet you this morning, this afternoon, and say namaste to all of you, I recognize all of you. My task this morning is really one of introducing a gentleman that need no introduction in the sector because he's known to everybody here. Minister Ivan Meyer started his journey in this portfolio in 2019 as Minister of Agriculture, but before then, you heard from the Director General of the province. He was the Minister of Finance. Before taking over finance, he was also Minister of Social Development, but also at some point, Minister of Cultural Affairs and Sport. So it's a very committed and hands-on minister. When he joined this department, or when he started his journey in this portfolio, he then introduced to us what he called 5 ministerial priorities. And I'm sure he'll talk more about that himself, but one of the key priorities, which is very close to his heart, is education, research, and training. And what is happening here is that a celebration of one of that a particular priority. Somebody said, a dream is not what you see in your sleep, but is that which keeps you awake at night. To the students who are graduating here today, this is truly a dream come true. My task is to introduce my boss, the head of agriculture, or Minister of Agriculture in the province, Minister Ivan Meyer, the executive authority, who has actually coined the term or the word or the hashtag for the love of agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, please join your hands together. Let us welcome Minister of Agriculture. Over to you, Minister.
The Chairman of the Board of Elsenburg Agricultural Training Institute and members of the Council, the Head of the Department of the Western Cape Department of Agriculture, Dr. Mukhale Sebopetse, and Senior Managers, the Director General of the Western Cape, Dr. Harry Malila, and his wife, Mrs. Gwen Malila, the Director General of the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, Mr. Muketse Ramasori. Thank you for being here, and warm greetings to your Minister, Minister Toko Dedeza, and I have no quarrel with her. Please send me her regards, my regards to her, and tell her what I always tell her in a WhatsApp message. I love her. Deputy Director General of the Western Cape Department of Agriculture, Mr. Daryl Jacobs, the Agricultural Development and Support Services, the Head of the Elsenburg Agricultural Training Institute, Ms. Hayley Rotkin, Professor Bayat, Adjunct Professor at the University of Fort Hare, and Director at Mancosa, Ms. Tanya Grayling, the Chief HR Officer of the Karsten Group, academic staff and administrative staff of this great institution, Elsenburg Agricultural Training Institute, students, colleagues, parents, honored guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As you've heard, Elsenburg is one of the oldest agricultural training institutes on the African continent, dating back from 1898. In South Africa, this institute has secured a distinguished track record in agricultural training. This morning, we celebrate the class of 2021. Today, 197 students will become members of this illustrious institution and group of students who call themselves graduates of Elsenburg Agricultural Training Institute. I look around here and I cannot but look back at my own graduation many years ago, and while it happened many years ago, I still see the same things present here. I remember the pride and joy of my parents' faces. Today, I see pride and joy on the faces of the parents and the guardians present here today. On days like these, parents feel that it was all worth it. And talking about this great institution, dating back from 1898, for those who know their history will know that this college was established the year before the outbreak of the Anglo-Boer War in 1899. This college was 1 year old and the war broke out on the South African soil. Can you imagine what the students went through? Can you imagine what the academic staff went through? Can you imagine what the parents went through? Sending their students to this college, and 1 year later, there's a war in the country. And so Elsenburg stood through the war of the Anglo-Boer War, 1899 till 1902. This college stood the test of time because another war broke out in 1914. The First World War broke out. This college stood the test of time. 1918, the end of the First World War, the college where you are now graduating stood the test of time. In 1918 was also the year of the Spanish flu. Thousands of people have died in 1918 as a result of the Spanish flu. Die Spaanse griepepidemie het duisende mense gesterf. This college didn't die. It became stronger in adversity. You will become stronger through adversity. Because this college also stood the time of 1939 when the Second World War broke out. This college stood the test of time. In 1945, the end of the Second World War, this college stood the test of time. And so you will have turbulence in your time. You will have obstacles. This college had many obstacles, but we our predecessors, our students of that time, our academics of that time, our parents of that time, our leadership of that time stood the test of time. If there's one lesson today, you must stand the test of time. You must not be like some people say, oh, ja, it's a groot crisis. This college didn't say there's a groot crisis. They said don't waste a good crisis. And so COVID-19, we didn't say close the doors of learning. My head of the department came to me and we said, let's open the doors of learning. Let's beat this COVID-19 as we did during the Anglo-Boer War, during the First World War, during the Second World War, during the Spanish flu. We stood the test of time. You graduate here today in order to stand the test of time in your new career, in your new life. I'm particularly happy that during this time we developed the Moodle platform to allow students to have an electronic learning platform. We sent the notes via courier. For those who said they don't have airtime, we gave them airtime. Because at this institution, I banned the word challenges. I said nobody must come to my office and say, Minister, I've got some challenges. The word challenges don't exist in our vocabulary because it's simply become an excuse for not doing what we believe we need to do. And so our Premier and Director General, Dr. Malila, introduced a value called resilience. Resilience means no matter what, we're going to succeed. I want to thank and congratulate the students and the academics because they have shown resilience. No matter what, you will graduate, you will succeed. When other people say we have many challenges, we say we have many opportunities. Because that challenge becomes an obstacle. You must change your language when you want to become successful. And in this college, we already banned the word challenges, we embraced the word opportunities and resilience. But before we did it, die landbouwers het dit jare terug reeds ontdek, toe hulle sê, 'n boer maak 'n plan. And I'm so happy that my HOD, whenever I come to him and say, "Sir, how will we do it?" I say, "A boer maak 'n plan." And so, to the graduates here today, while you were studying, your parents were thinking of you, gave you guidance, gave you support, and I want you to please all stand. Your parents, your family made huge sacrifices. They even made a sacrifice to be here today in this heat of Stellenbosch. And so they made huge sacrifices for you to study, your family, and those who are here present today. I want you to never forget the role of your parents in your own education. While you have what is called rational intelligence, the power of reasoning, thinking in concepts, thinking in conceptual terms, thinking in factual terms, and thinking in value terms. It was your parents, your family, who are here today and those who are not here, who carried you and prayed for you. While you have studied and mastered the art of rational intelligence, they were praying for you. But they also cried because they were wondering, how will you graduate during this pandemic? Praying, they showed that spiritual intelligence matter. Crying showed that emotional intelligence matter. And so this combination of your rational intelligence and the emotional intelligence and the spiritual intelligence of your parents, your friends, and your colleagues who are here is what ultimately matter in this world. So don't say, "I've got a degree, I don't talk to you." So I am thankful to my parents, my family, my wife, my husband, my brother, my grandfather, my family that made an effort for me and acknowledge their work for what they have put into, because you are a product of their investment in your education. On that note, I want to ask you to give them a round of applause that people can hear in the next farm next to us at Elsenburg. Please give them applause. I ask that you applaud your parents for never losing confidence in you. I ask you to applaud your parents because they never dropped their high expectations of you. The applaud also means they never lose hope in you. It was Napoleon Bonaparte who once famously said, "Leaders are dealers in hope." Your parents, your guardians, the people that you brought here today, they are the dealers in hope. Today, as you reflect on your future career, I urge you to become a dealer in hope. Hope in Xhosa means ithemba, but in English it means HOPE, higher opportunities for people to excel. You are graduating at the finest institution today at this college because we are creating higher opportunities for people to excel. You may be seated. I want all those who came here to support the graduates the parents, the guardians, to also please stand. Julle gaan nie so lekker sit nie. When I was a student, I saw how my father and my mother supported not only me, but also my brother, who was also studying before me. And I saw the sacrifices that they have made. I remember very well while I was a student at the University of the Western Cape, to bring my ma daar 'n 2.5 kilogram suikersak met 'n klomp biscuit. Toe my ma vertrek van die koshuis, toe's daar meer mense in my koshuiskamer as hierdie grade plegtigheid. Van hulle gewete moeder bring iets vir 'n student. I want to thank you for your investment in these students here today and for what you have done to make this day possible in their life. Some of you were more on your knees. Some of you wondered, will this student of mine, will he succeed? Van die foto's wat jy sien op Facebook, hy hou net party. Dis amper soos my eie seun nou. Hy hou net parties. And so, you were on your knees, and that is spiritual intelligence. Some of you, when your student or your son or your daughter left home to come here, quietly you were crying, thinking, wow, will he or she make it in this COVID? Is it safe at Elsenburg? And I want to thank you for your emotional intelligence, because your tears were also today tears of joy and tears of celebration. I will never forget emotional and spiritual intelligence, and that contribution it makes, it complements rational intelligence. And those of you who've traveled far, thank you for being here today. We really value your presence here today. It's a Saturday, soos hulle in die Kaap sê, dis markdag, but you are here. And we are thankful and thank you for your investment in the future of South Africa. The Director General of our National Department alluded to this. In 2020, we analyzed the data, the economic indicators, and we have seen that all the sectors had negative economic growth in 2020. It was the agricultural sector that had positive economic growth. In the first quarter of 2020, GDP growth in the agricultural sector was 28%. In the second quarter, it was 15%. In the subsequent next 2 quarters, to calibrate it, it was 13.1%. And so agricultural sector made a massive impact on the growth trajectory of this economy in 2020. And your investment is now well known. It is documented and it is appreciated. If you want to know what is your return on investment, you brought stability to the South African economy in 2020. We now know landbou dra die ekonomie hier ook in die Weskaap. En dis omtrent 11% van die ekonomie hier in die Weskaap, 4% primêre landbou en 7% sekondêre landbou. And therefore, I want to thank you for your massive contribution to the students, but more importantly, to the agricultural sector and the economy of South Africa. Thank you. You may be seated. Dr. Sepopetse did refer to the comment that he made that I developed 5 ministerial priorities when I took up the job. When I became the Minister of Finance in 2014, I went to Germany and I studied public finance and good governance in Germany. And there they told me a minister who has no priorities is flying nowhere. And so I came back and I developed 5 ministerial priorities for agriculture in this province. The first one is structured education, training, research, and development. Agriculture is a science. A science needs research. This is a research institution. And that's why we are proud of doing research. But education for us is important. Today, we are at the best educational training institute on the African continent. And so I do not only want to see you graduate in agriculture, I want to see more schools being built for agriculture. I want to see more agricultural subjects at existing schools right here in the Western Cape. So we have already embarked on an ambitious plan to have more agricultural schools, to have more agricultural subjects in existing schools. I have recently visited also the Augsburg Landbou School, Boland Landbou School, and soon I will be visiting Oakdale Landbou School in Riversdal. And I'm so proud of the farmers who built the Jakes Gerwel School of Skills, who is also introducing agricultural subjects. And I'm proud because we already see the impact of agriculture being introduced in that school. We saw 4 things. Number 1, empirically tested and verified. School discipline improved. Educational outcome improved. Teenage pregnancies at that school reduced. According to the social department and the social workers, and according to the police in Bonnieville, antisocial behavior and crime reduced involving the youth as a result of us introducing agriculture in schools. And so soon we will have more, starting from the 1st of April, we will have more schools teaching agricultural subjects. I'm proud of the work that this government is doing in rolling out agricultural schools in this province. It is a dream, it is a vision that we make real in this province. And I want to thank the farmers who built that school themselves in Bonnieville. The second priority for me is important, and that is support to our farmers. Our graduates will go into agriculture. We will continue to support you. Today we give birth to you, but you are now going into the world. But like a child, always we have to return to the mother and to the father. And so this institution is your mother and your father. And so wherever you work, we will continue to support you as we support farmers in this province. We have 16,000 farmers in this province, and we are supporting all of them every single day here in this province. In fact, it is about Dr. Sebo Pets and I was invited by Stats South Africa. And during that meeting, they showed us the impact of the investment by commercial agriculture in the Western Cape. And so DG in the Western Cape, we have now have the evidence and the records in 2018. Commercial agriculture in this province generated an income of 64.4 billion rand alone from commercial agriculture. The second biggest agricultural income was the Free State with 46 billion rand. And so we are proud of the work that our farmers are doing in the Western Cape. And we will continue to support our farmers, our producers, and our agri-workers. And we are thankful for the work that they are doing in agriculture. The third priority for me is rural safety, the safety of our farmers, because we believe an attack on a farmer is an attack on the economy of the Western Cape. And when your economy is under attack, it's the role of the state. And so we have developed a Ministerial Rural Safety Committee, and I'm the chairperson of that committee myself. I didn't say that's the job of the police. I said the farmers are under attack. And when a farmer is under attack, I'm not going to say it's the job of the police. So we developed an interministerial committee and an interministerial technical committee on the rural safety, and I'm thankful for the work that Daryl Jacobs has been doing, because he also developed a rural safety dashboard and a digital platform and a rural safety desk in this government of the Western Cape and in the right Department of Agriculture. And we are proud of the work that we are doing and supporting neighborhood and farm watchers, because we do not want any further harm to our farmers right here in the Western Cape. So rural safety for us is important. And if a farmer or a farm worker is attacked and people apply for bail, I will be in court myself to oppose bail, as I have done in the case in Klapmuts in the court of Franschhoek. The fourth priority for us is very important, and that speaks to market access. We are a biggest soft fruit industry south of the equator, right here where we are now in the Cape Winelands. And so we are a significant player in agriculture. And so for us it is important to look for new markets. And so we know 14% of South Africa's fruit are now being exported to the United Kingdom. 44% are being exported to the rest of the European Union. And so we are looking for more markets, both our traditional markets, the United States, the United Kingdom, the European Union, but also looking east to Southeast China, also particularly countries like Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, Philippines, Indonesia, and all those countries in the Far East, and also India. The biggest Muslim country in the world is Indonesia, 260 million people, and hulle soek halal vleis. And we must be there to feed them. And that's why in 2018, Daniel Johnson and I went to Indonesia, but we also went to Bali, Hindu region in Indonesia, and they want a cheese and wine festival, our wine and our cheese from the Western Cape. When the time is right, I will be going back to Indonesia to have a cheese and wine festival, cheese from our farmers, wine from our farmers from the Western Cape, to look for new markets. When there was a diplomatic conflict between Qatar and Iran, the government of Qatar came to this department and said, we want more halal meat from the Western Cape, because we are no longer getting meat from Iran, but we want halal meat. So we took them to the 3 EU halal certified abattoirs in this province, because we are serious about creating export markets. I'm particularly happy for our apple farmers, our pear farmers, the citrus farmers, because we had records in terms of export capacity. And so we are looking aggressively for more markets. And with the Africa Free Trade Continental Agreement, we are now targeting 1 billion people aggressively on the African continent. And so our market access is important, and we are looking for new and emerging markets for our products. And we have top-class products. I've been 2 years ago to Berlin and to Rotterdam in the Netherlands to see the value chain and the fruit logistical network hub in Europe. We also know that during COVID-19, the borders of the countries were closed. A country like Germany needs about 400,000 migrant workers to work on farms in Germany. With COVID, the borders were closed. So there might be great opportunities for us, because there might be less production of those goods so that we can enter those markets. When the time is right, I will be in Europe, I will be in the United Kingdom, I will go to California in the United States, because I want our products to be in that market. Last priority is climate change. We are the 50th driest country in the world. And that means that we need to invest more in terms of smart agriculture. We must look into the ecological infrastructure, and our colleague that is here, that is doing great work in the ecological infrastructure, Asia. And so we are pleased that we are now having an aggressive program for the restoration of the ecological infrastructure. To the parents here today, we fought hard and long to get the dam level raised by 300 millimeter. I'm happy to announce that we have now succeeded and started with the lifting of the Brandvlei Canal with 300 millimeter. That 300 millimeter lifting of the canal in the Brandvlei Dam will put 4,000 additional land under irrigation, a significant achievement. We're also particularly happy of the announcement of the National Minister of Finance last week that more money will be put into the reconstruction of the Clanwilliam Dam, because these regions need water, and they need water fast. And so my goal is to lead the agricultural sector to become a low-carbon, climate change and resilient sector by advocating a climate-smart production practices. We have now completed a study called Farming in Arid and Desert Areas. Hoe boer jy in 'n woestyn? And so for us, this is important that we take note of climatic conditions. I want to conclude. During my work, I meet a lot of people. And recently, I received a call from the Karsten group of farmers from Uppington. And they said they want to meet me because they see what we are doing at this great institution. And I want to thank Tanya, where is he? From Karsten? Okay, she's sitting right at the back. I want to thank you for the offer of the Karsten group, because they came to me and said, Minister, you guys are doing such a great job. We want to offer bursaries to your students. And I want to thank them for supporting or planning to support us to further invest through a bursary scheme of their industry right here at this great institution. I think they deserve a round of applause. I will soon fly up to Uppington to meet the Karsten group of farmers, because I told them you must not give money to people and to institutions that you have not seen. That's why I have invited her today. I said you must first see what we are doing before you give us money. But I don't accept money unless I see your business. So I'm flying up in the next 14 days to Uppington to meet the farmers of the Karsten group, because I believe we are better together. I believe we are stronger together. And so on behalf of this government of the Western Cape, the Premier of the Western Cape, the Director General of the Western Cape, I want to congratulate all the graduates here today. You are graduating at a prestige institution. This institution has a long history of success. You are now joining that journey of success. I conclude, it was the former US President Barack Obama who said, if you go out and make things happen, you will fill the world with hope. Go out and do so. Congratulations and well done. May God bless you all.
Ms. Rodkin, I request you to confer the following degrees, diplomas, and certificates.
Thank you. Students, I hope that we are in line. This is your last opportunity to find your seat before we start conferring your degrees. I do want to say that I hope you've heeded the words, particularly of the DG, the analogy around the marshmallow, the MSc, the HOD, who've spoken about resilience. And as we now call up, and I'm going to refer particularly to the degree group because they've been with us for 3 years, HOD, you define resilience. I will talk to the diploma group as they come up and everybody gets in order. But for now, I am going to say that I will now confer on the candidates who are presented to me the respective degrees, diplomas, and certificates.
I hereby call on Ms. Nandipa Mbizano to call out the names of the higher education and training candidates according to the program.
While we're moving into position, can I please ask, where is Roo Conradi? You can come stand up very quickly. Mr. Unity and Teta, where are the Teta brothers? Are they here? While we're getting ready, is to say that we owe you a thank you, Roo, because like my academic staff and my admin staff supported me, you as the SRC and particularly as the SRC chairperson assisted not only the students, but myself and my team to get through the year. Thank you very much. Are we ready?
Greetings, everyone. I'll now call upon graduates for B.Agric, Baccalaureate in Agriculture. The first graduate, Baccalaureate in Agriculture, cum laude.
Congratulations. Well done.
Richard Michael da Costa.
You can come.
Solomon Hechulas, Francois Diacher.
Turn that way, turn that way. Off you go.
Carly Dutoy.
Congratulations. Turn that way, careful.
Parent Jacobus Engelbert. Sarah Lee. Baccalaureate in Agriculture. Cairo Daniel, Africa. Bart Arbitas Petras. Okay. Person Michael Adrian. Lieutenant Matt Michael Martin. Postman Leandri. Diane Durand Botha. Priez Duvet. Sorry, it's Andre Stefan Prouver.
Congratulations.
Ludwig Berger Prouver. Rue Conradi.
Mr. Conradi.
Christian Johannes Stived.
Congratulations.
Duplessis Izzard.
Congratulations.
Nicole Gisser.
Congratulations.
Hobler Peter Heiberg.
Mr. Krobler, congratulations.
Yuri Weinand Yuman.
Congratulations.
Mateus Jacobus Bernardas.
Okay, you don't have to get down there. Congratulations.
Armand Klopper.
Mr. Klopper.
Megan Michelle Krieger.
Ms. Krieger.
Christian Lodewijk Kriel.
Congratulations.
Divald Latachan.
Mr. Latacher.
Ian Alastair Leroux.
Mr. Leroux.
Stéphane Leroux.
Congratulations.
Derek Kasman Lorenz.
Congratulations.
Henlo Marie.
Mr. Mahe.
Dihan Willem Gabriel. Jacobus Johannes Marais.
Congratulations.
Daniel Stephanus Maria.
Congratulations.
Lucien Yani Max.
Congratulations.
Solomon Francois Max.
Congratulations.
Henrik Rousseau Meyer.
Mr. Mayor.
Cameron Gray Moody.
Congratulations.
Cornelius Johannes Muller.
Congratulations.
Jacoba Magdalena Aleta Phillips.
Congratulations.
Leanne Potters.
Congratulations.
Chase Miles Robinson. Henry Seberachen. Marcel Slabber. Darren Frederick Smith. Martin van den Hever. Olga van der Merwe. Anje van de Venter. Van de Venter. Carlo van Dijk. Ben Johan Foster. Elrico Nico Williams.
Congratulations.
Okay. I'll now call upon graduates for Diploma in Agriculture, 1 year. Okay. Andre Pierre Dumas.
Congratulations.
I'll now call upon graduates for Diploma in Agriculture. Langabala. Jacobus Etienne Prouver.
Congratulations.
Belina Tabisa.
Congratulations.
Brittany Havenga.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Kane Reyes Courier.
Congratulations.
Zianda Kupiso.
Congratulations. Mosque.
Ntateng Machaya.
Madam, congratulations. So while we're still waiting, I want to particularly point out to the MSc and everyone else the absolute resilience and the regrowth of this first group of 3-year diplomas that we've had. They've walked a path a few years with the institution before they had to cross over into the new diploma, and COVID-19, all the other challenges that were thrown at them. Here we are today, and in fact, it is one of my proudest moments, MSc, being in government, to be able to cap these students. Thank you.
Asonele Makope.
Congratulations.
Michelle Muller.
Congratulations.
Sibongile Ntantiso. Daniele Petrus Pinar.
Congratulations.
John Henry Pinar.
Congratulations.
Carly Rousseau.
Congratulations.
Michael John Rousseau.
Mr. Rousseau.
Marcus Jacobus Sadi.
Congratulations.
Ryan Martin Struve.
Congratulations.
Floris Nicholas Vermeulen.
Congratulations.
Posi Saleu.
Congratulations.
Sibusiso Mbakaza.
Mr. Mbakaso, before you leave the stage, don't you owe me a soccer trophy?
Is your name? Noluthando Sotashe.
Mr. Tashi, that way.
Arno Erasmus Swart.
Congratulations.
Chanel and Ludwig Willemsen. Selma Willemsen.
Congratulations.
Elmarie Natasha Vidboy.
Congratulations.
Henrik Cornelis Wiem.
Congratulations. Well done.
I thank you.
I hereby call on Mr. Henry Cook to call out the names of the agricultural skills development candidates according to the program.
Greetings to everybody. I will be presenting the names of the National Certificate Plant Production NQF4 Study Field Viticulture. Tiffany Andrew. Donovan Beekman. Sandon Reno Pierce.
Congratulations.
Abongile Foko.
Mr. Falk.
JJ Henrik Galant.
Congratulations.
Mpendulu Makwelane.
Mask. Congratulations. No, down.
Aviwe Janji.
Congratulations.
Zolisi Bantu Ndizana.
Congratulations. Mr. Nsana, hold.
Mariska Shiel Domingo.
Congratulations.
Logan Monique Jacobs.
Congratulations.
Morgan Janjis.
Congratulations.
Portia Cluster.
Congratulations.
Anthea Elzaan Swartz.
Congratulations. Elda.
Willeen Marang.
Congratulations.
Peliswa Kabi.
Congratulations.
Kara Cox.
Congratulations.
Nomvelelo Khadana.
Congratulations.
Nomutwenu Imishle Nonjola.
Congratulations.
Amber Donay Weingaard.
Congratulations.
The next qualification, National Certificate Plant Production, NQF4, study field Pomology. The name Babalwa Bongoza.
Congratulations.
Bianca Monica Lowe.
Congratulations.
Shamila Mart.
Congratulations.
Angela Joanindre Uithaler.
Ms. Uithaler. Well done.
Benito Williams.
Congratulations. Yep. Well done.
Ms. Rodkin, I request you to confer in absentia the degrees, diplomas and certificates on those candidates whose name has been presented to you but who could not attend.
I confer the respective degrees, diplomas and certificates in absentia on the candidates.
I now call on Dr. Ivan Meyer to hand over the following special awards to the qualifying candidates. In the learnership program, the best student in animal production in QF level 4, Marukaneli Irvin Uratile. Best student in plant production, viticulture in QF level 4, Nonjola Nomankwenu Imichle. I think we need to wait a second, they're still entering. Can I just quickly confirm, did all the academic skills development students enter again? Not yet. we can start that again. Mr. Meyer, Dr. Meyer.
Give it a few more seconds. I know.
No.
Could I please ask that the ASD students return to the hall? Ms. Parker, can you ensure that those who are supposed to receive these awards are back in the hall, please? In the meantime, MEC, I actually have a very exciting and proud moment to announce that our very own, now he's turning around, Dr. Kekana, who is one of our lecturers, has recently been awarded his PhD. Dr. Kekana, I'm not sure that you were meant to clap for yourself, but we'll accept that today. Are the ASD students here? Right.
I hereby again call on Dr. Ivan Meyer to hand over the special awards to the qualifying candidates. In the learnership program, the best student in animal production NQF level 4, Morukanele Irvin Uratili. Best student in plant production viticulture NQF level 4, Nonjola Nomenkwenu Imichle. Best student in plant production pomology in KF level 4, uithaler Engela Johanine Ray. Engela can actually stay there because she's also the Dux Award learner. Engela, you can come back to the stage. Dux Award for the learnership program goes to uithaler Engela Johanine Ray. The Dux student in the Diploma in Agriculture, Hoffenga Brittany. The Dux student in the Bachelor of Agriculture, Carly de Tour. The National Wool Growers Association Award in Wool Production is going to Cameron Gray Moody. Thank you, sir. Thank you. A special thank you to Drs. Meyer, Sebopetsa and Malila, Mrs. Ramasori and Jacobs for taking time out of their busy schedules to welcome our guests to deliver the keynote address and the congratulatory announcements and presenting the special awards. We would also like to thank everybody that contributed to making this day a successful event. Our staff for organizing the event, the academic staff for their continued support to the students, our parents, our graduates, our industry partners, sponsors and supporters for their continued support. We have now come to the end of the proceedings. Thank you. We kindly request all guests to remain in the hall while the academic procession and the students exit. This is to allow for an aerial group photograph with the HOD and the ministers. Students who have received special awards are requested to return to the hall after the group photo for a photo opportunity with the sponsors. I now request the head of the college to close the ceremony.
Long 2-3 years. Before I close, I actually want these students just to stand up, so all of you, the ones who've achieved the awards, please just come up for one last and face your audience. Here you are. Very proud women. You can stand in front of us. Come, Ingela. Come, all of you. In front here. Yes, yes, yes. Kali, I want you to smile this time. And so HOD, would you and Mr. Jacobs, would you just take a photograph? Because without the support of these two gentlemen in particular, MEC, you will get to do another round of photos with them after the proceedings. So you all here, you will be called up to back into the hall to take your photographs with the MEC and the DGs. Okay, thank you very much. So class of 2021, can you believe it? I can finally say class is out. Some of you will be joining us again. You'll have to do a couple more years with me and the staff here at the Institute. Parents, guardians, support networks, sponsors. We have now awarded all the certificates, the diplomas and the degrees. And on behalf of the Institute, I congratulate all our graduates. This is an important milestone. I trust you will have a successful career and that you will continue your studies. My sincere thanks to everyone who's been part of this journey and who've provided extraordinary support in these years of study. MEC, Minister Mayor, we do have to thank our staff because I think that HOD, the DDG, can be extraordinarily proud of them, DG, Malila. They worked their fingers to the bone, and I applaud them. Not only the academic staff, the support staff, the staff who gave encouragement at the hostels, in student admin, you've got my admiration. And on that note, MSc, we have now come to the end of the proceedings, and I declare this congregation closed. Have a good day, Nibini Mini Mnandi. Goeiedag.